Hi, welcome to another video, and in this video we're talking about relative response factor, how to use this, and what is it so useful, right? So before I get started, please subscribe to my channel. I really thanks for your support. Okay, so just a recap of the last video that I did. I was talking about what's the response factor, then what's the formula of relative response factor when it comes to FID and Mole basic. So this is the formula that we were using in the last video, right? Right. So let's get into the first so-called usefulness of relative response factor. So why is it so useful? Because the first thing is I've been using this over and over again is to verify whether the standard or the instrument is doing okay, whether any one of these is okay. So most of the time, believe me or not, the standard is the one that giving you the prompt rather than the instrument, right? So let me demonstrate how to verify this one real quick with Excel. All right. So this is a quick template that I made for you. It's basically the same one as the one I used in my first video, but let's go over again. Okay. So when you have a new standard coming into your lab, and what you can do, let me close off this. Okay, let's say this is a new care plan that's coming into your lab, and after you run it, you get this kind of program. What can you do? How do you verify whether this is a good calibration plan that you have purchased, right? So let's after you run your care plan, you should get the error counts under this column over here. What you can do, you can enter all of those numbers into this Excel spreadsheet like this. Then from the COA, because you buy a new care plan, you have a COA value. You just want to verify that the COA value is expressed in percent more or something like ppm more or something like that. As long as more basic, you should be good to go with this video, right? All right, so you enter all this number into this column, then you have the error columns. What you can do, you can complete the rest of the table over here. All right, so let's do that. So for methane, that could be one carbon number, ethane is 2, propane is 3, isobutane 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, right? And then you can calculate experimental RF, which is response error of compound amounts divided by peak area from here. That's where you get the response factor. And then you want to calculate the experimental response factor RF using propane as a reference. So that would be RF over here divided by RF of the reference, which is propane. And you get something like this. I'm going to log the formula. Then I'm going to have this. All right. So then you can have the theoretical RF. So that would be carbon number of the reference. I'm going to lock it again, divide by the carbon number of each individual compound. So that would be like this, right? And then we want to have a difference over here between this one and this one. And then, okay, and then you want to have the how much is difference in percentage, right? All right, so there you go. Okay, so this is the final column that you want to have in order for you to justify whether it is your calibration plan is good enough for you to use, or you want to blame the supplier to give you a new one, something like that. Okay, so most of the time I could go with 10% difference. So if you have 10% difference, you should be very happy. You should be good with those numbers. But if you're getting like 20%, 30%, or 40%, most of the time it's calibration plan something wrong, right? You can either run a cal plan to verify whether your instrument is doing okay or not. Very unlikely that two cal plans will be the instrument is not doing okay most of the time, believe me. Sometimes I see even the number can shoot up to 100% or 200%. That's huge, right? Okay, so this is a very good way for you to verify whether your cal plan is doing okay or not. Okay, but in this video, I'm gonna give you one more bonus for this, because what we're doing is we're doing the calculation using Excel, and it's very, very quick actually. But in case you have many more compounds, you will be you need to consume a lot more time to enter of this number. So what I can do for you, I can show you a way how to use intelligent report to perform this calculation, to generate this kind of report automatically for you, right? So let's get into that. All right, so you have this is the same data that I was using in this formula. So let's get into this one. Before you see, in order for us to perform the calculation over here, we need to store the COA value over here, and this is something we can store inside our, let me open the calibration table. You can store inside the amount column over here, so that's okay. You have the error count, so as long as you have program, the software will show you the error count. So this column is okay as well. For the carbon number is something there's no way for us to store somewhere. So there's a couple of ways for us to do that. If you watch some of my last video, I was using multiplier. That's one way for you to do. Otherwise, you can store a number inside the report layout. That's another way. For in this video, I'm going to show you another way that you can do that very easily. I've seen people using this quite often, and what you can do is you can put inside a compound name over here. So you can put a separator, something like underscore or something like that. It's up to you. So you can put underscore here, then you put a carbon number inside compound name. So let's say you put underscore 1, so that will be something like this. Underscore 2, because this is carbon number 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 4. And this is 5. This is 5. This is 6, right? Something like this, and later on I show you the formula how to extract the information from this compound name later on, right? So that's how we store this value. Experimental RF is where only this one is because we know this two, which we calculate this one. That should not be a big deal. RF using propane as reference just means we need to store the value of propane as a reference, and then we'll be able to perform a calculation for all of this. So what we can do, let's do that real quick. So I'm gonna print a report so that it will be applying all this new setting into the report over here. Okay, and one more thing I want to show you is you want to make sure that you want to report, specify report over here, and you want to make sure that you are using ESTD over here. All right, so once you are okay with that one, I'm going to send this data to report layout to show you how to build a report. Right. Okay, let's start with a new one. All right, I'm going to make a new one over here. Go to File, New Report Template. Okay. I'm not gonna waste time to build those fields or whatever sample name thing like that, because I think you can do that. So I'm gonna go directly into the compound table over here and pull one over. So as I say, the first thing you want to do is you want to store the value of propane because this is a reference, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna right click on this table and I'm gonna filter only that propane, right? I don't want anything else. I just want only that propane. So that will be compound name. Okay, and the values over here you can put right exactly over here, propane number 3, something like this. So you want to show only the value of propane, right? So what you need to store over here, the first thing you want to store is you probably want to store the carbon number over here as well, right? You want to store the carbon number over here, or okay, so let's do that. So carbon number, let's do okay, let's remove all of this and we'll start over again wherever we want to store. Okay, actually let's add one by one. Let me add the first one over here. Okay, let me put this one as carbon number. All right, so how do we store this carbon number over here? So that's basically, so right now is propane underscore 3. So you want to split that one into 2 parts using the underscore as a separator. So you want to, you can do something like this. You can split compound name. So that means you split the compound name using, what is a separator? You want to use the underscore as a separator, right? So this is how you split. And after you split, you should have two so-called compartments 1 and 2. So the first one is the compound name, which is propane. Second one is number 3, right? So you want to choose number 2 after you split that thing over here, right? So that's how you extract number 3 out. And in order for you to save this one, you want to put this one in the value. So that is, you want to make sure that this is a real number, right? So after you have this, you want to save this one as propane carbon number, something like this. You want to save, you want to say okay. So that's how you have propane carbon number, right? All right, so that is the first thing. The second thing you want to have is experimental RF over here, and so that will be the RF, and you want to add one more field. Okay, so this one, I want to make this one as RF. Okay, and RF, there is a formula inside that is basically under compound, and that will be compound response factor right here. Okay, compound response factor, say okay, and you want to save this one as well, and you can save this one as propane RF. Say okay, save, okay, okay, all right. And what else you need to save? Okay, that's all you need to save. So you need to have the carbon number and experimental RF. So you're good to have the reference. Say okay over here. All right. So those are the number that you want to save. And now let's create a new table. I put another table over here, and this table will be the same as this table over here. Okay, so let's go into that properties again. Okay, for the first column is compound name. It's going to show the full name, which is like methane underscore one. And sometimes you don't want to show that underscore, so you just want to show like methane, right? So you can do the same thing, like you want to split compound name and using underscore as a separator. And in this case, you just want to choose the first compartment, which is number one, the first index of this split function, right? And that's how you get the compound name correctly, right? For the next column, we want to have a COA value, which is a concentration, and that would be, let me remove this one. I can do COA, and I can show you another tip is over here, so COA, and then analyze or percent more. So in order for you to do this in this intelligent reporting template, you can do something like this, equal to, okay, COA, and then you want to add the keywords called VB new line. So that will add a new line for you. Okay, and then that will be what's that? Percent more. Okay, so that will be something like this. Percent more, something like this, right? Say okay, and then you want to save. The formula for this will be compound amount, because you already store that inside the calibration table, right? The next column, you want to have the error count, so that's correct. So error, big error, that's already correct. We don't need to change anything. For the next one, that will be carbon number. So this is another one that you can show. You can type carbon number over here, and then say okay. For the function, you can put, again, you want to split the carbon number, split compound name, because we store those number under compound name, right? And then you want to split this one using the separator, underscore as the separator, and you want to choose the second index of the split function, right? Close the bracket, and then you want to convert this one into value so that it will be easier for, you will be able to show as, actually it's not that important to choose value anyway, because you don't use this for any calculation in this column anyway, so I can remove that one. Okay. Like this, and then the next column will be experimental RF. Then you can do this one. You can add experimental RF, right? And the formula is actually the same as compound response factor. We don't need to change anything. The software will calculate this one for us automatically. Okay, and then the next one you want to have is experimental RF ref as propane. Okay, so this will be experimental RF, and you want to have a new line, so you add VB new line over there, then you add the ref to propane, right? That's how you want to have this column. All right, for the formula over here, that would be, if you look back this one, that would be the response factor divided by the response factor of propane, right? So that would be compound response factor and divide by the response factor of propane, and that, remember, we have saved the response factor of propane under variables over here. That's the propane RF over here, right? That's okay. All right, so then you want to have another column called theoretical RF. All right, so let me move over here. I'm going to add another column. Okay, then the function over here, I can call this one as equal to as not theoretical, theoretical. How to spell it? Okay, theoretical. All right. Anyway, RF and VB. Oh, sorry. And VB new line for new to go to a new line, and then you to as ref equal to propane, something like this, right? All right, and the formula over here is that will be the carbon number of the reference. So that we already save over here, carbon number, right? And then you want to divide by the carbon number of every single carbon, single compound over here. And remember the divide by first. And for the carbon number, remember we store them inside we did store them inside what you call it, we did store them in compound name, right? So in this case, I'm going to put split again, and that should be compound name. Okay, and we did split them by the underscore separator. Okay, this is the split, and I want to choose the second index of this split function. And in order for me to be safe, I'm going to put all this in the value function so that that will be a real number, right? I'm going to say okay. All right. Okay, so that will be, oh, sorry. That will be the theoretical. Then the reference value over here, let me add one more column. So that will be difference over here. And for difference, that will be, the formula will be the response factor, compound response factor, right, minus the one just now. Or what you can do, you can copy the formula just now, go back over here, and this is a theoretical value. You can copy the whole thing. And then you're going to go back here, and this will be minus the whole thing just now, right? Say okay, and I think I'm going to use this one more time, so that's why I'm going to copy first over here. Say okay, and you're going to add the last column, which is difference in percentage, and you can do the same thing, equal to difference and VB new line and percent, something like this. All right, and then the formula will be the difference, which is all thing over here. Okay, this is a difference, and then divide by the carbon, the theoretical value, which is somewhere here. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. So you want to make sure you have enough parentheses over here, right? So that's how you come up with this one. And for this one to work, I'm gonna, because I want to express some in percentage over here. So let me say okay, and then I go to value format over here, and then I want to choose this one as percentage down here. So that would be like this, and I can show one decimal places, just like the one in this Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so once I'm good with everything, I say okay, and I say okay one more time over here. So let's see if we are getting everything correctly. Let me move the whole table a little bit down here. Okay, we have some space for this. Okay, we don't have enough space because I was using this. Let me change this one to the landscape layout. So that should be, we will have more space for that. Okay, so now it's portrait. Okay, change to landscape. All right, so we have more space over here, for you to, to show you that one. Okay, so that would be okay. All right, difference. All right, so that's how we had everything over here. So let me preview the report. All right, so the one on top is the one that we say we can hide this one later on, but what we can show over here, experimental RF. Okay, there we get something like this. I think something wrong over here. Let me check the difference formula one more time. Okay, so that would be, this should be the theoretical value, experimental RF. So that should be this one divided by the response factor of propane. Sorry for that. So let me correct that one. Okay, so I have you that. Then this one is also the same. That's going to be here. Right, so that should be like this. Say okay, and say okay over here. Then let's preview one more time. All right, so I think we should be good with this one right here. And for some reason, this one didn't show correct number over here. But basically, you get the concentration correct over here, error count correct, carbon number, as you can see. Then you see the compound name doesn't have those underscore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have experimental RF. This is a theoretical value, and it's pretty good with this number. You see like 0.61, 0.53 over here, and 6153. There you go. Okay, a difference over here, then a difference over here. Let me verify the difference formula one more time. And then at the same time, I'm gonna hide this propane over here. You can go to advanced, then uncheck the visible box over here. All right, so let me verify the formula one more time over here. The column, the last one. Okay, the difference in percentage. So that would be compound response factor. No, there's no carbon number. Let me delete this one and do it one more time. Let me copy this difference first. This is the difference, and I'm gonna put over here. This is the difference over here, and I'm gonna put them in the bracket like this, and then we divide by this. Okay, let me open the bracket. Okay, and then we're gonna take the whole thing over here. So that should be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, something like this. That would be easier. All right, something like this. Say okay, say okay, say okay, and see whether it should be correct now. Yeah, that looks correct right now. And but this is a log number, so let me change that one a little bit. Okay, let me change the format to okay. There's no. If you see nothing, you can put the value function over here, and then you can close the whole thing. Then you will be able to get the value format correctly over here. Then in this case, you can format this one as a percentage. Then I want to show one decimal place. Okay, okay. Then preview. There you go. So this is the final one that we have. So it's pretty much tally with what we have over here. So 6.2% for enhancements. There you go. Then 0.1% for methane. There you go. Right. So that's the way how you perform the calculation for this using intelligent reporting instead of Excel, so that you can reuse this so-called template over and over again. Next time when you have a new standard coming in, you don't have to make a new template for new Excel template for another standard. So once you are done with this one, you can save this one. You can call this one. Let's say I save this one as RF, something like this. Then I'm gonna go back to data analysis. What I can do, I can go to report, specify report. Then I go to intelligent reporting over here. Then I go to browse the template for that one, and that is RF is somewhere here. Say okay, say okay. Then I can just print out report like that for next batch of standard that I'm going to purchase. So this one will be showing me the difference over here, and if everything looks good, I'm happy with this standard, right? So this is a very typical way for you to verify whether your standard is good or not. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I see you in my next video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.